Hello and welcome to our Thermo Fresh Recipes for Spring cooking class tonight. It's great to see you on. Today we're going to make a few different recipes. We've got 3 consultants on who are ready to share, and then others who are, I saw a couple of others join as well. So please, if you have any questions about anything Thermomix related, maybe we know other stuff too, but no guarantees there. Please feel free to put your questions in the chat. And then at the very end, once we've finished presenting all the recipes, there'll be time. I'm happy to stay on afterwards to answer any other questions for anyone who wanted to come off mute or and ask me and get me to show you something or whatever the case may be. So yes, the other thing to know is that I am recording this, which is another reason just to keep it on presenter view only. Those presenting recipes will be in the recording. So tomorrow I will send you all out the recording. So if you miss anything tonight, you can catch up. Don't feel like you have to sit there writing out all the recipes. I'll send you the links to the recipes as well. So just relax, enjoy learning some hints and tips from those of us who are presenting. So to get us started, I am going to pass the spotlight over to Penny. Beautiful Penny, who is going to make 2 different recipes for us this evening. Hey.
Hi. I'm sorry. My kids were playing.
I can see you've got a lovely filter on, and you're probably dying because you didn't realize till I put the spotlight on you.
Yes. So I'm lucky I don't have a beard and moustache as we were.
It's just some pretty lipstick.
Yeah, I'll fix it at some point. So this is me all dolled up. How are you all? I'm going to do the first recipe tonight, and I am doing the red pesto chicken salad. If anyone who knows me well knows that I don't really like salads and veggies, but this one is quite appealing. So I think it's actually a skinny mixers one as well. So it is on Cookie Dough. So we'll get started because it does take, I think, the longest amount of time to cook of all the dishes. So I'll just move that. So, oh my God, that filter. Thanks, Roz, it's amazing. Okay, so the red pesto chicken salad. So we'll start cooking, and we're going to pop in 85 grams of semi-sun-dried tomatoes. And don't worry, I've pre-weighed that, so I know it's all good. 25 grams of macadamia nuts. 20 grams of olive oil. We're going to put in 15 grams of Parmesan cheese, and there's also a clove of garlic because that's the next step as well. 15 grams of roasted whole red pepper strips. So I bought these in the jar, but you could absolutely easily make your own. Some char grilled capsicum. A teaspoon of tomato paste, which I've already pre-measured. So 10 to 20 grams of fresh basil. So we'll see how much we've got here. 2 grams. So I'm going to go with that. Basil's not really my thing. 10 grams of pitted olives, which came down to 3. So, and that's a little bit over. 30 grams of Greek style yogurt. And I've also got in here some Dijon mustard because that's in one of the next steps. So I'll just pop them all in together. 2 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar. If you haven't seen on the mix shop already, our measuring spoons, these are awesome. They're really good quality. And they even have a half tablespoon measure as well. A teaspoon of Dijon, which we've already thrown in. We'll do a teaspoon of salt. Okay, and I'm going to pop the lid on. And we're just going to blend that for 20 seconds. I'm just going to stop it because it sounds like it's done. I'll just scrape it down. I'll just give it another crack for the last 5 seconds. Still a massive chunk of basil in there. Okay, so pop it into a bowl. This looks delicious. It actually looks like it would make a really nice dip as well. I'll show you in a sec once we get it all out. Does anyone else like to make dips in their Thermomix? I love it. It's one of my favourite things. So that's what that looks like. So just put that aside. Okay, so it says to place your simmering basket onto your lid and then weigh in 500 grams of baby red potatoes cut into thick slices, so about 1 centimetre thick. I've already done that. And then it says to place your aroma dish into position and pop in 500 grams of chicken breast and 50 grams of the preserved red pesto, so I'll do that. If you can see that, just cubed up some chicken breast. Chuck that in, and then I'll pop in 50 grams of the red pesto. That's 53. So the next step is to stir the chicken to coat with the pesto, which I'll do. A bit of a stir and mix it around. Make sure it's all coated. I'm going to pop in some water. Fill that up. So the best thing about this recipe is there's no cleaning the bowl in between. And then we're going to pop our simmering basket in, pop our lid on and the aroma on top. And then that is going to cook for 10 minutes. Then I'll stop it and give it a stir, and then it will cook for another 7 minutes after that. Oops. So while that's cooking, you want to go back to you, Laura?
Yeah, we'll come back to you in about 15 minutes. Awesome. Thanks. That looks super easy so far. So that's really good. Our next recipe is from Yolanda, and it's a bit of an involved recipe. So she's done a make ahead video for us all to be able to watch this evening, and then she's going to bring it all back and tie it all in, which we'll just see in a second. But yeah, so I will share.
Hi, I'm Yolanda. I'm going to show you how to make lion's head dumplings today. This recipe is one of our family favourites, and I think with spring weather coming and more eating outside, more finger foods, it's a nice recipe to show at a spring cooking class. The recipe does come from Fuel Cookbook, which is a book that I co-authored with Libby Wescombe. We will share the recipe with you today so that you can enjoy it in your home, and that's how it looks. So I'm going to record this today because it takes a little bit of time with the preparation. Quite easy to do when you've made the recipe once or twice, but just being ready helps. So the first thing we need to have done is to have soaked about 200 grams of basmati rice in water for about an hour and then drain it, because that's going to be our coating on our lion's head dumplings. The next thing we need to have done in advance is to have chopped up some Chinese sausage called lapchong. You can just buy this in the supermarket. I bought this in Coles. It's shelf stable, doesn't need to go in the fridge. Once you've opened it, do put it in the fridge and do use it quickly. Before we use this in our dumplings, we do need to steam it. So I have steamed this for about 12 minutes in my simmering basket. It just releases some of the fat and it cooks the sausage, which is good for this recipe. So the other things I've prepared in advance, I have, see if I can show you. I've peeled some fresh ginger. I've chopped 4 bird's eye chilies, just in half, taken the seeds out, roughly chopped some shallots and some coriander, and that'll be part of the flavouring that goes into our dumplings to make them taste so delicious. So first things, the ginger and the garlic go into our Thermomix bowl. I'm also going to pop in the chilies and the shallots and that coriander as well. And we're just going to give it a quick chop. So usually, you know, maybe a few seconds, maybe 5 seconds, speed 7 will be good for this. So we'll just, you can see, I'll just set it for 5 seconds. Oh, I might just go a little bit less. Speed 7. And I can hear that's nicely chopped. So I'm just waiting for my Thermomix to open and I'll show you how that looks. An important thing when you're chopping things like onions, garlic, chilies, don't put your face over the bowl because the chili and the onion fumes will really make you cry. So that's one of the lovely things about having a Thermomix to do these chop steps for you. It makes that easy and no more tears. So what I'll do now, I'll just give that a quick scrape down. Put this down again towards the screen so you can see what's happening. Just give it a quick scrape down like that. I'm using one of the Flex Core spatulas from the mix shop. I really like these, flexy, easy to use. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to pop in the Chinese sausage and give that a quick chop. This recipe does call for 300 grams of prawns and 300 grams of chicken mince. If I was going to use the prawns today, I would put that in now with the lap chong and just also give that a quick chop just for a couple of seconds on speed 7. I'm actually not going to use prawns today. I'm going to use 300 grams of chicken mince and 300 grams of pork mince, and that'll go nicely into my dumplings. I might just give that just a slightly longer chop, just another couple of seconds. Sounds better, just another 1 or 2 seconds. And now my Chinese sausage is beautifully chopped in there with my herbs and my garlic. Once again, a quick little scrape down. Smells wonderful. I love the smell of ginger with coriander and garlic as well. So the next thing we're going to do now is we'll just call up our scales. I love the scales that are inbuilt in the Thermomix. It makes things very, very easy. And we're just going to weigh in 300 grams of chicken mince. Don't really have to be super exact with this, but I find this is just a nice amount. You could do the entire recipe with just chicken mince if you wanted, 600 grams all up, or you could do as I'm doing today with 300 grams of chicken and 300 grams of pork. I find that the white meats and the prawn as well works very nicely with the flavours in this recipe. And it also looks nice with the white rice on the outside, having the white meat. So there we go, just a little bit over, but that's okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add in a little bit of white pepper, about half a teaspoon of white pepper, just sprinkle that in on top. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll add in about a tablespoon of corn flour. And the reason I put the corn flour in is because that really helps just bind all the juices together as the dumplings cooking so they don't run out, but they stay nicely bound in. And the next thing we'll do is we'll add about 20 grams of light soy sauce. Just once again for some beautiful Asian flavour. There's 23 grams, it doesn't matter, a little bit over is all right. And the next thing I want is a little bit of sesame oil. So I'm going to add about 20 grams. I do love the smell and the flavour from sesame oil. Okay, there we are. So all we have to do now is pop the lid back on. And we're just going to mix that, speed 4, or speed 3 actually, about 10 seconds, 3 or 4, doesn't matter, it's not critical. And I will go in reverse because I don't want to chop it up any more than it is. So just activating reverse and just give that a good mix. Let's see how that's going. Excellent. Just what I hoped for. So now that that's done, there's our mixture there. So what has to happen now, I will tip that into a bowl that I can easily access for rolling. And then each little ball is going to get rolled in the soaked rice to give it its coating. And we will then put them onto the Varoma dish and the Varoma tray, and we'll steam them for about 25 minutes. So in the steaming process, the meat cooks and all of our flavours will develop. And the other thing that happens is the rice cooks as well. So I'm just going to show you quickly. I'll move my spoon. Move that to the side. So the best way I've found to do this is to use spoons to save yourself getting too messy. So I hope you can see what I'm doing here. I've got a bowl of my dumpling mixture here, which is all beautifully blended. And I have my bowl with my rice. I'll grab myself a couple of spoons and another one for here. And I'll just take about a walnut size. Don't make them too big. You want them to steam nicely in time. And if they're too big, by the time the rice swells as well, they get to be jumbo size, which we don't want. So just a quick roll like that. I pop them into the rice. It's a little bit of a messy job, but it's not so bad. And then I find this is the easiest way. If I just tumble it through that way, and then I just lift it off, pop it onto my tray. You probably can see my Varoma tray. I've actually lined it with one of the liners from the mix shop. I don't normally do this, but I thought I would today just to see how I go, because sometimes as the rice is cooking, you know, it does get stuck a little bit in the Varoma tray, and I thought this might make it a little bit easier for wash up time. So those liners, you can buy them in the mix shop. They've got a number of really good parchment products there to go into our baking tins as well. So anyway, you get the idea. That's pretty much how things go. So what I'll do now is I'll go and continue rolling these and get them ready. And then I'll come back when it's time to put them on for steaming, and see you soon. So I've rolled all of my lion's head dumplings and placed them on both the tray and the Varoma dish, just giving them some space around there because the rice is going to swell. The next thing to do is just to put in about 1 litre of water into our Thermomix, a clean bowl. And then what we'll do is we'll position the Varoma on top. Oh, that's a little bit under, but that's okay. We need 250 grams of water for every 15 minutes of steaming time. So I'm just going to put that on top there. And on goes the tray and the lid. And set for 25 minutes aroma, speed 1. So I'll come back and show you how they look when they're done. And we're also going to show you today how you can make a black vinegar dipping sauce, which is very delicious with black vinegar, some ketchup, mayonnaise, some other things added to that. And it's really lovely to have that dipping sauce with the dumpling. So that's another recipe I'll share with you today. I'll come back when these are cooked. So our dumplings are just about finished steaming. Here they go now. So I'll take the lid off and I'll show you what we have made. Please take your lid off facing away from you just to let the steam escape. There's our lion's head dumplings. Rice is beautifully cooked, steaming away, smelling wonderful. And the second layer underneath, also looking really good. So these served with a sweet chilli sauce or the black rice vinegar dipping sauce that we're going to make in this, that we'll make in this class as well, are quite delicious. And as I said, you can change the meat, whether you want it to be prawn and chicken, whether you want it to be chicken and pork, whether you want all chicken, mix it up to suit what your family enjoys. They're a very delicious dumpling and very easy to make in the Thermomix because all the hard work with the chopping and the mixing is done for you. If you are interested in Fuel Cookbook, we will give you a discount code. This book is full of recipes for people who want to eat healthy, clean eating. The CrossFitters, the F45 people, the runners, the people that want to fuel their body because they've got an active lifestyle, or people who just like super healthy recipes that are made really quickly, and you can make them with or without a Thermomix. We've included both methods, the Thermomix method and the conventional cooking method. So there's recipes in here to cover you for breakfast, lunches, snacks, everything in between. So if you're interested, either reach out to me or grab a copy. Anyway, happy cooking.
Oh, hopefully that video you could all see that. And I don't go to the gym, but I do love the book. I do like to eat healthy, even though I'm not a gym junkie. So I think it's a great book for everyone. I'm going to pass over to Yolanda now to show us that sauce she talked about in that video.
Hey, hello everyone. It was kind of weird watching myself actually being on the video there, but it's good to sit back and just enjoy it and not have to be doing anything. That was good. The reason I recorded it, I just thought it was going to take too long if I tried to do it in the class, and that would make it much quicker. So the recipe I'm going to do now is even quicker again. It's a black vinegar dumpling sauce. It's one that I like to make as an alternative to your normal sweet chili sauce or that sort of thing that you might have with dumplings. It contains a few things from the Asian grocery store. This one here is the black vinegar. And I was reading the label. It actually has got vinegar, mushrooms, seaweed, vegetables, sugar, salt, some fruits and spices, and of course a bit of caramel colour. But it smells really Asian-y, savoury, a little bit sweetish. And the other ingredient that we're going to use that you can get pretty easily is just ketchup mayonnaise, which is a sweet soy sauce. I just bought this in Coles. So that's easy enough to get. A bit of Chinese wine goes in this as well. Same thing, Xiaojing it's called, easy enough to get in the supermarket. Some sesame oil. And we will share this recipe with you and also the one for the lion's head dumplings, so you can make them at home if you'd like to. So this recipe for the dumpling sauce, you actually don't need a Thermomix for it, but like all things, the Thermomix makes life easier, so why not? So I'll just tip this down and you can see my screen. Hopefully, if I move that, you'll be able to see a little bit better. There you go. So I've just got one nice big clove of garlic. So I'm going to pop that into the Thermomix. And I'm just going to chop it for a couple of seconds on speed 7. I won't set the timer because I'll hear it when it's done. So 3 or 4 seconds is enough to chop garlic, and you do hear it. It starts off like a large clove of garlic, and pretty soon it doesn't make any noise when it's nicely chopped like that. So just give it a bit of a scrape down with a spatula, because garlic is a little bit sticky and does tend to stick to the bowl. So we'll just pop that down below. And then The next thing we're going to do is just weigh some things in. It's that simple, really. As I said, we could have done this quite simply without a Thermomix, but the Thermomix allows us to weigh things into the bowl, to chop things and to mix things all in the one space, so it makes life easy. All right, so 85 grams of our ketchup mayonnaise, the sweet soy sauce. So that's going to go in now. Just squeeze it in. There we go. And the next thing is a little bit of brown sugar. It's a tablespoon, which is roughly about 22 grams of just good old normal everyday brown sugar. Oh, that's a bit less. I'll just put a little bit more in. That'll do. And then the next thing we want is 70 grams of our black vinegar. And following on from that, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. I find it's easier just to weigh that, to measure that with a spoon than it is to weigh it. And that's about it. We're just going to mix it together. So probably about 10 or 15 seconds is good time to mix it. And about speed 3 is good. Okay, that's done. So super easy. The hard work was in making the dumplings. The easy stuff is in making the dumpling sauce. I'll actually tip it into a little bowl because I think you'll be able to see better. What we're then going to add is some chopped chilli and also a little bit of chopped shallot, just sliced shallot. As you're mixing this out of your bowl, just give it a bit of a stir because the brown sugar does tend to settle on the bottom a bit. It takes a bit longer than the 15 seconds to dissolve, but with your spatula, you can easily enough just get that out and pop that into the bowl. So here I've got just a bird's eye chilli, just chopped into nice rounds, and a bit of fresh shallot. That goes onto the top of your sauce like that. Give it a little bit of a mix. I'm not sure how good my camera is, but hopefully you can see that. So the other thing that I did with this sauce, I had a bit left over after we made the lion's head dumplings. I had sauce left over and I figured that it was too good to waste. It really is lovely flavour. So I had some chicken mince and some pork mince and some wonton wrappers, and I made some shumai dumplings just by mixing 4 tablespoons of this black sesame dressing with about 400 grams of mince, some ginger, some garlic and some shallots, and I made a mix that I then steamed in wonton wrappers for about 10 minutes. So I used the dipping sauce in the meat mixture to add the flavour, and then whatever I had left over we added on top. So it was a nice way to use those Asian flavours in leftovers that I had to make yet another meal. So a couple of tips for how to use your black vinegar dipping sauce. Anyway, that's it from me, Laura. That was the world's easiest recipe to demonstrate.
Thank you. So good. And my family loves shumai. I just wrote it in the chat. So I think I need to be making that one for sure. I
can send you the recipe for what I put together into those dumplings today. It was a pretty simple mix. I can send that to you later if you like.
Yes, please. I'd love that. And we better put it in the email for everyone else tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you. So before I show you the next recipe, I just want to really quickly show, there are a few people on here who don't have a Thermomix. So I just, for one quick second, wanted to show you what the Thermomix has. So basically people invest in a Thermomix to save time, make healthy recipes, save money in the kitchen, but also to be more energy efficient or to make exciting recipes, to get the love back of cooking, or because you hate cooking and you don't want to be in the kitchen and you want this to do it for you. So it's kind of like, it suits everyone and everyone will use it differently to each other, and why I love it might be different to why you all love it here. And Yolanda, there's a question in the chat for you about the wrappers, by the way. I just wanted to show you the screen of the Thermomix so you can see what we have here. When you turn on the Thermomix, you have this home screen where you can choose your time, temperature, and speed. And that's what you've seen us doing tonight. And Yolanda made her recipe on the manual mode of cooking. If you want to use any of the other modes, you swipe across and they're all here. We've got the self-clean and rice cooker and the kettle and the egg boiler and the scales and the dough mode. I'm not going to go, like, if you want proper info about any of these things, I can go through that at the end, or you can ask your consultant. But I just wanted to just quickly highlight ferment mode, slow cook, sous vide. Yeah, there's a whole heap of modes there. But then if we go the other way, we're in the Cookie-Doo website, which is the recipe platform that has thousands and thousands of recipes, and you can scroll to find what's trending and what's new, or things that they think that you would like based on what recipes you've said that you're interested in on the website, or you can just start searching. So even, if you're wanting to get into spring and you're wanting to see some salad recipes, you can just come in here and type the word salad. If you know what you want to cook, you can type in the word that you want to, the recipe name. But if you don't know what you want to cook, you can just type a random word like this and just see what comes up. There's so many different recipes, and these range from, chopped salads that take 5 seconds to make, and then others where half the component is cooked and it might take a bit longer, more like 20 minutes to 30 minutes. But there's so many great recipes on here. My favorite is the beetroot salad, but there's a beautiful superfood salmon salad I like. Yeah, there's just so many. So check it out. The other thing you can do in this search bar is type in an ingredient. So if you have an ingredient you're wanting to cook with because it's in season, like strawberry, because the farmers are begging us all to buy their strawberries so they don't have to toss them at the moment. I'm not sure if you've seen that in the news or seen how cheap they are at the moment, but if you're wanting to use some strawberries, just type the word in and see what comes up. I made some pink lemonade the other day with strawberries and that was beautiful. Family loved that. But yeah, there's heaps of recipes here, even just preserving it by making jam. And if you aren't sure what else to do at the moment, but they're cheap and you want to buy them, just put the punnet in the freezer until you've decided what you want to make. The other thing you can do in this search bar, if you don't know what you want to cook, but it's for, like, for example, like it's for a party or entertaining, or you can just type in the word party, or you could type in the word Mother's Day or Christmas, or you could type in the word spring and see what comes up. But yeah, there's just heaps of tags that you can use, different keywords that you can type into your Cookie-Doo search bar. So that's just a quick Cookie-Doo rundown. What the other thing I wanted to show you is that you can meal plan with your Thermomix, and I'm coming in here to my week. And these are the recipes that I've made today. We had that one for dinner, and I'm about to make this raspberry antioxidant juice for you all. So I press that. Once you're in a recipe, just scroll down to see the information about the recipe. So it gives you the ingredients, the steps. There's also always nutrition guide and some different tips, and even background information. So this one's talking about how the fruits in this recipe are really good sources of vitamin C, which is great for your immune system. And at the moment, I'm looking for ways to boost my family's immune system and finding antioxidant type recipes. So I wanted to give this one a go. So if you have any questions about the Thermomix, I just ran through that super fast. Stay on at the end and we can cover whatever you haven't seen, or please do reach out to your consultant. But I'm going to get into this recipe. And the first thing it's asking me for is a grapefruit. So I'm popping that in, just whole. So I went around, sorry, touch it again and show you. So I went around the outside, taking off, I just cut off the two ends and then just peel around the outside, making sure I take off most of the white pith so it's not bitter. The next thing it's asking me for is a pink lady apple, which are still in season at the moment. And I hadn't cut that ahead of time because I wanted to keep it fresh. So I've just quartered it. I've got the skin on. I'm happy to keep seeds in. I'm happy for that. There's B17 in apple seeds, which I'm happy to put in. If you don't want that in, just core it properly. That's fine. I'll just pop that in with my handy chopping board here. The other thing that's next is the raspberries, which I've got mostly fresh raspberries, but a punnet of raspberries is only 120 grams. So I've actually topped that up with some frozen, and you can use all frozen berries, and you don't have to use raspberries. You can use strawberries or blueberries or whatever you want. I think that the color of raspberries is really pretty though. So I did want to use those, and we love raspberries. So yum. And then just some mint leaves, and that will add a beautiful flavor. So, oh, honey. Yep, I've got that here. And so it says 1 to 2 tablespoons of honey. I'm not used to sweetening my juices, but this recipe is adding water. So I'm not going to skip that step. I am going to add the honey to give it that flavor, because I think the family will love that. And I'm just using raw honey. You can also use maple syrup if that's your preferred sweetener, or as I said, you can leave that out if you don't need a sweetener. I do a lot of juicing in the Thermomix, and I usually just add a whole heap of fruits, a really big handful of spinach, and a glass full of ice. And that just whizzes it around. The ice actually breaks down the fibers in the fruits and veggies. So I don't find I need to add any water to thin it out at all. But that's just going off the top of my head, and I'm excited to try this particular recipe tonight. Sorry, I need to wash my hands now. Again. Yeah, so we are going to put the lid on. And so all along the way, for those who haven't seen guided cooking, if you didn't realize, all along the way it was telling me what to add, and you just press the next button. So this is going to go for 1.5 minutes. While that happens, I hope you can hear me if I move over here. Tell me if you can't hear me. I just wanted to let you know, it's still too loud for me. Anytime you're doing anything powerful in the Thermomix, it is a bit noisy. You can hear it. It's going at 10,300 words per minute, so that's why you can hear that. I just wanted to let you know some of the fruits and veggies that are in season in spring. So we've got asparagus, which I'm going to make a recipe for you soon. It uses asparagus and avocado. So cheap at the moment. That's because they're in season and beautiful. Banana, all the berries are starting to come, especially blueberries and, as I already mentioned, strawberries. Rockmelon, cherries will start coming. Kumquat, grapefruit, which you just saw me use. So they're really cheap at the moment too, because they're in season. Honeydew and the lemons and limes are still in season, so you can still use those. On the veggie side, we've got artichokes, Asian greens, beans, beetroot, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. There's actually some really good recipes on Cookidoo for Brussels sprout salad. I know as kids, most of us didn't like Brussels sprouts because our parents may have boiled them to death, but give it a go. There's some really good recipes. Cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, celery, choco, and corn. So, and the herbs that are in season are basil, chili, chives, coriander, and dill. So lots of, oh, and you can hear that that's finished. Lots of great produce are in season in spring, and it's definitely healthier for us to eat in season. That's when we can get the most nutrients out of our food, but it's also better on the hip pocket because the foods that are in season are cheaper. So we'll see the results now. It's asking me to scrape down. Oh, it's so beautifully pink. I don't even know if you can see that. The lighting's just not good. You'll see it when I pour it out. Maybe you can see it better on my lid. It's wanting me to scrape down. My thermo spatula is in the dishwasher, so I'm just using any random spatula that I have. I have a lot of spatulas because we do a lot of cooking. There's 6 of us in this house, and they're just often dirty or in the dishwasher. So yeah, I'm just scraping, and I don't know if you could see, oh, not really, the way I scraped off the lid as well. Just kind of go around so that you can make the most of everything. And then I go around the rim as well. So now we add some water, and I'm just adding some filtered water. Anytime the recipe asks you, can't see because I've put you up too high. Anytime the recipe asks you to add a recipe that has a particular weight, the scales automatically come up. So I didn't need to press that. They just come up when you need them in a recipe. It's super handy not to have to use measure cups. Just makes cooking so convenient. So I've added in that water, and now it's telling me to put the lid on again. And the next step is just to mix that around for 10 seconds. I did also want to show you, anytime you're in a recipe doing anything, if you want to multitask and look ahead, there's 3 dots up here where you can press the recipe detail and look ahead so you can grab the next ingredients or whatever. So that's it for the juice, but it does want me to, it says to chill for 20 minutes. I'm not going to chill it for 20 minutes. We're happy to have it now. So looks really good. It smells really good too. So I've got some glasses here ready. And looking pretty nice. Hope you can see that. The last step is to, it says garnish it with mint, obviously optional before serving. I do have a sprig of mint here. I thought I would garnish it with just to show you how pretty it is. I don't know. I'm not always big on garnishing, but there's our raspberry antioxidant juice whipped up in a couple of minutes, and I better have a try for you all to let you know what it tastes like. That one's going to be for someone else. It's really good. Oh, another tip is, yeah, it's really good. I can taste the grapefruit, which is what reminded me. One of the tips is, this is a make and drink straight away type juice, whereas a lot of them can be kept in the fridge. Because of the grapefruit, it can go bitter the next day. So it's a good one to make and eat fresh. So yes, definitely add to the meal planner. And it is a beautiful color, so good. So we're gonna go back to Penny now because her salad is ready and waiting, and I've been chatting too much, I think. So here's Penny.
Hi. I've taken my lipstick off, so we'll all be happy about that. Okay, so chicken is finished. The recipe does say to prolong by 3 minutes if it's not done. So mine definitely wasn't done on the 17 minutes, so we did it for a little bit longer. So we remove our aroma and set it aside. And then our next step is to remove the simmering basket. So Laura mentioned that there was a few people who don't own a Thermomix yet. Obviously, we've been cooking. It's really hot. So what we're going to use is our spatula. And you can see the little hook on it. Don't mind the chunks. This is my TM5 one. And it just hooks onto the basket and lifts it out. So there's no burning or anything like that. So then we get rid of our bowl, the cooking liquid. So it says to place a large bowl onto the mixing bowl lid. This is to weigh in the spinach, but I've already got 60 grams of spinach here, so I've already pre-done that. And I was going to mix it in my oval thermo server, but there's too many ingredients. So we can add in some macadamia nuts, and then it says to add the chicken, potatoes, and remaining pesto and toss them to combine. So there goes my chicken. There go my potatoes. Oh, you can't say that, sorry. And my pesto. And that just goes in there. And then I'm just going to toss it all and combine it. So I'll give it a bit of a stir. This smells amazing. And if you really do like basil, then definitely put the 20 grams in. But I'm glad I only put the 10 leaves in, just because I can really taste it. I'm not a massive fan of basil, but I guess what's pesto without basil? So I'll pretty this up a little bit, but that's essentially what it looks like. Great for lunches, dinner. I guess you could do it as a bit of a side with something else. You can make it super low carb. You can use cauliflower florets instead of potato. You could use sweet potato as well. I even read somewhere that you can use capsicum also. So that is the red pesto salad, or red pesto chicken salad. I might just throw it in here and see how pretty it looks in our awesome oval thermo server, which is one of our host rewards, and perfect size for this salad. Cool. That's it for this one, Laura.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the button. That looks so good. And definitely the season to be having main meal salad type recipes when it's getting hot outside. So thank you, Penny. The next recipe I wanted to share is a sous vide recipe, which is particularly great in the Thermomix TM6 model because there's a sous vide mode. But for those who have an older model, you can still do it. Better in the TM5 because of the degrees go in 5 degree increments. You can still do it. You may just need to adjust the temperature. If you aren't sure about how to sous vide in previous model Thermomixes, please just message me and I can help you with that. But in the meantime, I will do a screen share here.
Okay, today I wanted to show you this recipe, which is called the Sous Vide Asparagus with Poached Eggs, a great recipe for spring because asparagus is in season. And the first thing I wanted to show you, if I press start cooking, is how you put your bags together to do the sous vide. So I've put my asparagus in just some normal snap-lock bags that are BPA free. I have put in the oil and garlic and just kind of mushed it around in there, so that will all infuse nicely in with the asparagus. So how you close these bags to make them airtight is like a cool little science experiment. If you get a bowl of water and put the bags in there, basically the water displaces any air that's in these bags, so you can get it all the way under, just so that the rim, hopefully you can see that, the rim is above the water, but everything in the bag is below. And then just really need to gently, without getting any water inside obviously, close up that bag. And then if you make a mistake and this to stuff it up, it's okay, you can open up the bag and do it again. But I think that's pretty good. You can kind of tell when something's shrink wrapped. You can also get a vacuum sealer, and the mix shop sells a good vacuum sealer with bags that come with it that are a bit more heavy duty than these as well, so that you can do sous vide with like bones and things like that. But these work well, and I'm using it today just to show anyone who doesn't already have a vacuum sealer that you can do sous vide as well. So I actually close the bags just mostly, so there's just a little gap in the middle, just to make it really easy, because it's a little awkward when you're trying to get this under and then trying to have just the rim up above the water without getting any water in. It's a little awkward. You kind of get the hang of it. And there's our bags. Nicely ready to go in the Thermomix for the sous vide. So the next step is to put in the blade cover. If you don't have a blade cover, you can sous vide in your simmer basket, but your quantity is going to be a lot less with what you can fit in. So fitting the blade cover, if you have one, just goes right on top of the blades. Hopefully you can see that. And give it a little twist to make sure it's all locked in. Looks good. And then I'm going to use this water. Okay, we're going to measure the water. So put these in first, because we don't want to fill past the max line on your Thermomix ever. So definitely always stay under that max line. So we're putting in these bags first. Looking good. It's just side by side in there. Maybe you didn't see that. Nothing exciting really. And then we're going to, it says add water until it reaches the max level, and just make sure the bags are fully submerged. So yeah, that looks good. I'm going to use this same water because I don't want to waste the water. But I'm not confident using the bowl. I'll probably splash it around everywhere because I'm a messy, I did anyway, even with this measure jug. So here we go, adding in the water. That's good. I actually need a bit more. That will probably, I think this was, I had 2 litres, so I need the full 2.2 to get to the maximum, and make sure my asparagus is going to be submerged. That's good. Okay, so now we are going to, oh, it says remove and set aside. That's probably, oh, I know why. Because we have to heat up the water, of course. So the first step of the sous vide is we always add an acid in the water, because when you're cooking in stainless steel bowls over a longer period of time, you want some lemon juice or vinegar, or you can use ascorbic acid, ascorbic powder, sorry, powder, not acid. I just use lemon because it's easy, it's what I've got. So the first step is to heat up that water to get it to the right temperature, and then we add our bags back in. So that's going to heat for 15. This is about to end now, so we will press next. So it's asking me now the water's just heated up, so it's asking me now to place my bags in. It's the easy step. If you're worried about the heat of that, you can use tongs to do this, which I should probably have done. It's okay. Okay, it's looking good. Just making sure that the bags are fully, or at least the asparagus. It doesn't matter if there's a bit of the plastic sticking up. One of these doesn't want to go in. Just fully submerged in the water, the asparagus. You can do sous vide with, the normal thing is to do meat. So like steak or chicken, or that looks good. Fish, salmon, but I wanted to do asparagus tonight because it's, you know, in season in spring. It's just something different. And another cool thing you can do at the moment is strawberries. There's a recipe on here for sous vide strawberries in a white chocolate mousse, which you could try as well. It sounds really good. Yeah, so lots of different sous vide recipes. In Cookido, you can just type in the word sous vide and see what recipes come up, and you can play around with it. And the texture is really good. I've done like steak and chicken and salmon, and the texture is just silky smooth. It's beautiful. So I'm excited to see how the asparagus turns out. So that's finished now, and we'll look at the next step, which I believe is just removing the bags. So I'm going to use tongs to do that, and I'm popping them in my oval thermo server. Now the thermo servers are really great at retaining heat or cold. They can keep your food hot or cold for a few hours. So, and these are available as our poster awards, so they're really great if you want to make something ahead and keep it warm, or take something to another location if you want to cook something ahead and take it away, anything like that. So these are our thermo servers for that. This is telling me to retain the water in the bowl, and we're going to pop in these eggs, which I've just wrapped in plastic wrap. I thought that was weird, I don't know, just following the recipe. So the blade cover is still in there, and the water is still in there, nice and, oh, wait, I just remembered something. I'm not supposed to put the eggs in yet. Oh, silly me. I'm supposed to heat up that water first. I'm such a dork. Because it was talking about that wrapping the eggs, I thought I was going to put them in. So first step is to heat up the water again to make sure it's back up to 85 degrees before we put the eggs in, because as I was removing the asparagus and putting it in the thermo server, in that process the water has cooled down a little bit. So we're just going to get it back up, and then I put the eggs in, which I've wrapped in a plastic wrap, which, yeah, as I was saying, I do think it's a little bit weird, but that's what the recipe says to do, so we'll follow that. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so this is almost done now, and then we can put the eggs in. So yeah, next it's telling me to use a slotted spoon, just so I can put those eggs in there. I've just wrapped them in cling wrap. So yeah, the blade cover is in, and the water is nice and hot. So we just put the lid back on and carry on. So now this is going to cook for 13 minutes to poach the eggs in the shell. It's a different way of poaching eggs. I'm excited to see how it turns out. Just finished. And so now I need to remove the eggs. Now, it looks like they have come out of the plastic wrap. But anyway, that's okay. It says remove the eggs and put them in cold water. So we'll do that. Oh, that one's all spotted. It's interesting. Okay. And we want to sit them in the cold water for approximately 30 seconds until cool enough to be able to handle. Okay, so while we wait for that, we'll divide the asparagus out. It's still nice and warm in a thermoserver. I've got some plates here that I've got some avocado on, because that's another great thing that's in season at the moment. And aside from being awesome that it's in season, it's also really cheap at the moment. Yeah, I think it was less than $1 each at Aldi where I bought them. Okay, it smells so good. Okay, this is going to be interesting, because I think I mentioned earlier I haven't made this recipe before. I've done normal poached eggs with a blade cover. They're really great. Try that. The sous vide I'm all fine with, but this egg situation is new to me. So let's see. I think I'm supposed to carefully partially peel and slide out of the shell on top of the asparagus. So let me do that. Get this out of the way. I just want to show you how to do that. Hopefully you can see this. So, and the other thing to let you know is that the recipe said you can prolong it for up to 2 minutes if you want your the whites of your eggs to be a bit more firm. I thought, since it's my first time trying the recipe, I thought that I would do it as per the recipe, and if it's not the way I like it, next time I'll change it, and you'll be able to see from this result, so that hopefully on your first time you'll be able to know how you would like it. Okay, and then I'm supposed to just slide. Oh, it's so soft. Yeah, it looks great. Oh, I'm excited for this. I'm just going to peel it a bit more. I think you're supposed to peel it a bit and then crack it as if you were cracking a normal egg, but I'm like getting nervous about it. Okay, see if that slides out. Maybe with a bit of help. Okay, that's good, that's good. And then I'll do another one, and then I'll cut in and show you what it looks like on the inside, if you just bear with me for 2 seconds. But I hope this has inspired you to try the sous vide method, and I want to show you the inside texture of the asparagus as well. Not that you can really see it, but I don't know. It's hard over Zoom to show you the end result really. Oh, yeah, that slid out beautifully. Okay, I'll worry about the others in a minute. I've got 2 plates here, but the other one can wait. You don't need to watch me do that twice. But that's what it's looking like so far. And then I will just cut in to show you what's happening with the yolk. I just want to move that white a bit. Hopefully you can see this. I'll have to hold it up in a second. But yeah, that looks great. This is the texture that I would be very happy with. So if I can hold that up, hopefully you can see that. The whites are very soft, and the yolks runny and soft. That's a normal thing when you're boiling eggs, but the whites here are looking very soft and beautiful. And I'll just cut into some of the asparagus to show you that as well. Yeah, that's good as well. Oh, you know how it goes stringy? I mean, actually I better just, yeah, so it's a bit of a different result to steamed. I feel like this is softer. Maybe I should try it and just review it for you. Yeah, definitely softer than steamed, but it's like not overcooked, you know, it's just perfect. So there we have our sous vide asparagus with poached eggs, a different method of poached eggs in a shell. So something cool to have a go at.
There you go. Love showing the sous vide method, and I'm going to when I send the email tomorrow with the recording, I'll send you the link to the channel that has other sous vide demonstrations on it if you're wanting to see other recipes, as well as all of our past classes. that we've been doing since COVID came about and we became virtual instead of doing in-person classes. And really sorry about the quality of, oh, how do you spell, oh yeah, someone's already answered that. Sorry about the quality of my screen shares tonight. It's just one of those things. The kids tell me they're off Wi-Fi. I'm with Telstra. I don't know what else I could have done. But that's just one of these things. We are not professionals here. All of us consultants who are on here tonight and, you know, around Australia, trying to help out our customers over the virtual world. We're just amateurs cooking in our kitchens with kids around and all sorts of tech issues. So hopefully you can all learn to be patient with us. But what does come through, hopefully for you all to see, is how much we love our Thermomixes and the passion we have for that and for sharing with you all so that you can all make the most out of your machines. So that, oh, we do have another recipe I wanted to show, which I'm going to cut over to Penny for that. And then after that, I've got some other things I want to show you anyway. So over to Penny for a beautiful dessert. I love this recipe. So good.
Okay, so I am doing the frozen pineapple cream. I think Fruity Dream crossed with like Disney's pineapple Dole Whip type thing. Anyway, it's amazing. The other amazing thing is my whole family is in bed. So let's see how many of them I can wake up during this recipe. But I'll just move you a little bit closer to the thermo. Okay, so we're going to start. So our first ingredient is 50 grams of raw caster sugar. So the next ingredient after that will be 4 mint leaves. So I'm just going to tip it all in together. Now, if it's too sweet, you can actually change the sugar. If you want to go a little bit less, you can. So I'm just going to pop the lid on. And then we're just going to melt the sugar and the mint leaves on speed 10 for 10 seconds. Okay, and then we're going to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl with the spatula. So I'll just show you that. So that was just raw sugar. Can you see that okay? And some mint. And the smell is delicious. It's so fresh and amazing tasting. Okay, so we're going to pop in 600 grams of frozen pineapple. I've got one bag, which is 500 grams, so we'll just run with that. Spot on 500. And then we're going to add in 60 grams of coconut milk. I'm going to use coconut cream just because I've got it out for another recipe I'm doing tomorrow for a demo. So I might just put in, I'm over. I was going to go a little bit less, but. And then 2 egg whites. And we go next. Okay, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a helping hand with my spatula. So I'll get it started and I'll give my other spatula a quick wash. So 40 seconds on speed.
Since it's noisy there for Penny, I'll just let you know that she's using the Thermomix spatula through the hole in the lid. Because it has a guard on it, it will never reach the blade. So don't ever do this with a different spatula. Just use the Thermo one that came with your machine. It's brilliant for you to be able to spin and stir while something's cooking. Really good.
Okay, so now I have to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl. Oh, this smells amazing. And then I'm going to mix it again with the spatula for another 20 seconds. I can hear you. Okay, so my next step is to pop the butterfly whisk in. So this is our butterfly, and it just sits over the blade. And then I'll just show you this on the TM6. This is how cool it is. If you're not sure of something, some of the recipes actually have little videos in there. And it will show you how to place the butterfly whisk in, which is kind of cool. So then I will pop the lid on with the measuring cup. Butterfly tool is on, and for 40 seconds, it's just going to whip at speed 4. This will make it nice and light and fluffy, and it's really impressive. So far, I've only managed to wake up one who's standing in the hallway, stomping his feet. The other two might be sound asleep. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. Ooh. My pineapple is probably not quite frozen enough, but that's our pineapple cream. And this, I'm a mix shop junkie. This is our rose gold ice cream scoop. And I'm just going to serve it up in a bowl. You can pop some extra mint leaves on there, or however you want it to do it. And the rest of it I will pop into the freezer, and the kids can eat it tomorrow. But this frozen pineapple cream is to die for.
Looks just like the Dole Whip that you get at Disneyland or in Hawaii. But I love that recipe. Thanks, Penny. Okay. So, it's so good. What did I want to show you? Okay, so I did just want to quickly go through current promotion info. I'm going to stay on if you have other questions in a second, but I want to show you how to make the most out of cookie dough as well. There's a really cool tip that not everyone may know about. But at the moment, anyone who purchases a Thermomix in September can get our barbecue bundle pack added on. Oh, I forgot to get the skewers out. But the main event is our Meter Plus, which is a temperature probe that goes into your cuts of meat. There are some vegetarian recipes you can use it with as well, but mainly it's called the Meter Plus. It goes in your piece of meat in the thickest part, and you can use it in the oven, air fryer, on the stove, barbecue, but also in your Varoma of the Thermomix. And it works with the app on your phone, and it just tells you how long you choose, how you want your cut to be cooked, like medium, rare, well done, whatever. And it will tell you how long you've got to go. It'll ring a little alarm when it's time to take it off, and it will tell you how much resting time there is as well, and give you some tips. There's videos. The app is just so good. This is normally $299 on its own, this Meter Plus. It's a brilliant piece of technology. And also in the pack is our barbecue cookbook, which has lots of hints and tips to save time and money as well when you're entertaining. So all the recipes are on Cookie Doo, but if you like hardcover books to be flicking through, it's great to have in your collection. So this pack, as well as some barbecue sliding skewers, which are really good, but I didn't get them out to show you, for $49 extra when you're buying a Thermomix just this month in September. So massive savings to be able to get that at the moment. Ready in time for the entertaining season when we get out of lockdown and can start having barbecues again. So the price of a Thermomix is $2,359. We have some really good payment options. You can space it out over 3 months, you can do our Zip Money 24 months interest free plan, which works at $24.56 per week. So just super affordable to be able to cut it down into just tiny weekly amounts. You won't miss those dollars out of your bank account each week when you have a Thermomix on your bench. It's just so good. The other way is that you can earn a Thermomix by becoming a consultant. Join us as we share the love that we have of the Thermomix with the community, and as you sell Thermomixes to those around you and who will love it, and thank you so much for selling it to them, you're earning the cost of your own. So if you want to know how that works, please reach out as well. The other thing that I kind of quickly touched upon in my CV video when I was showing you the Thermo server is that we have some exclusive host rewards available just for those who are sharing the Thermomix with their friends. And you can invite 2 friends along to an online demo like what we're doing tonight, but we can personalize them to you and make them shorter, like about 40 minutes with a few friends, and you can get a host reward for that. But sharing the Thermomix is a great way for you to get a reward. It's a great way for us to spread the word of how great Thermomixes are so that more people can be cooking from scratch in their kitchens and just keep the word going about how amazing this machine is. Before I show you Cookie Do, I did just want to ask you all a few polls if you don't mind. And the other thing I forgot to say, now that I'm about to launch this poll, is to see if anyone is interested in becoming a Thermomix consultant. I did mention that you can earn a Thermomix by becoming a consultant, but also if you already have a Thermomix, you can become a consultant and just start earning extra cash as a side hustle. We've had a lot of people coming on board recently who haven't been able to earn money at the moment in lockdown, and this is a way that they can do that as well. So please let me or your consultant know if you want some more information about that and how it would work. Some consultants come on to be purely virtual consultants, and they want to do social media and Zooms and things like that. And others, once we are able to, will be out doing it in person, and others are doing a hybrid. So it's definitely pretty flexible. So yeah, I can get you the information about that. And the other thing I would love to know is if anyone is interested in hosting a cooking experience. That could be online, as we're doing now, or once we open up, it could be in person, or it can just be inviting some friends onto one of our public cooking classes that we have running. And we are running these every week with different themes. So it could be as simple as it is right now, you're on this, but you've invited a few friends and you get a host reward for that. So let me know if you're wanting some info about that. Okay, I will end that poll now. And if I'm ending the polls too quickly, just reach out. Tomorrow when I send the email, you can reply. And the other thing I'm interested to know is if you want some more information about purchasing a Thermomix and the logistics around that. At the moment, they are being delivered direct to our new customers, and we are providing customer service support over Zoom, over webcam, and it's working well. It's, we're making sure our customers are comfortable and confident using it. While we can't get there in person, and it's great. It's a pretty intuitive machine. So yeah, we'll help you figure out how to use it. Okay, I'm going to end that poll now. Thank you so much for your questions there. You mean your answers. Keep putting questions in the chat if you have any about anything, but I do want to just really super quickly run through something in Cookie Do that I think I'm still finding not everyone knows about, and I just want to do it super quick. We have proper Cookie Do sessions that go for about 20 minutes to half an hour that are really in depth. We hold 1 or 2 a month, and I can send you the links for those tomorrow, but I just want to quickly show you a few things. So you'll notice that this is the same as what I pulled up on the actual TM6 screen earlier. If you type something in here, say I want to make something with avocado, because it's spring and we're wanting to show you spring recipes. Once you've found a recipe that you're wanting to use, that looks good. You press the 3 dots and you can put it in your Cook Today. You can bookmark it, add it to a collection, which is basically just like folders. And these are some of the folders that I have. Or you can add it to your weekly planner. And here's where you choose which day you want to make that. And Saturday looks like a good day for a smash. And also add to your shopping list. And you can do that with all your weekly planned recipes. I'm just going to type in the word spring, see what comes up. Probably some spring rolls. Oh, this 2-second breakfast is really good. For those who haven't tried it, give that a go. So if I put that, I'll put this spring greens with grapefruit in for Sunday. I'll save that. Yeah, there's some beautiful recipes that have come up for springtime. It's really cool that you can just type in any kind of tag word into Cookie-Doo and the recipes come up. Okay, so I want to show you how that works. All these recipes, once you've bookmarked them or saved them to a folder, there's a place to find them on your actual Thermomix screen. So I've got my bookmarks here, my folders are here, my saved collections. But what's the cool thing I want to show you is that in your weekly planner, you can pull up this shopping list and look at the recipe, your shopping list by recipe or by category. And this just makes it really easy as you're going down the aisles in the supermarket that everything's categorized. So I could have 7 different main meal dishes in here, but it splits up every ingredient. So all your dairies together, your fruit, your spices, your veggies. If you've already got it before you leave, you can tick it off. But as you're adding the items to your trolley, tick it off with your finger because this will work in the app that you can have on your phone. The other thing you can do, which is my favorite, especially at the moment, is to order the ingredients. And so it only works with Woolies online at the moment because their website is speaks the same language as our website. But it just brings up your whole shopping list that you've got for your week's menu comes up. And if you don't like the brand they've chosen for you, you can just swap it out for any brand. And once you're ready with your list, you add to your cart down here and it will take you, a new window will open and it will take you to your Woolies online account. So you can do a click and collect, which is free, or an online delivery. And it sounds like we're promoting Woolies. It's not at all, it's just that they're the only website that works with us at the moment. Hopefully in the future, more supermarkets come on board, but this is just so handy. I can't even explain how amazing it is to be able to do a weekly planner and then just put it in the Woolies online and it just does a click and collect. You walk in the supermarket, they give you your trolley and you walk out. It's so good. Or they do home delivery as well. So yes, I did just want to show that. So that's the end of our class tonight. I hope you've all learned some hints and tips and got some new recipes that you can try in spring now that all these beautiful produce are in season. I will end the recording. And if anyone has any other questions you're wanting to ask after I end the recording, please feel free to come off mute, have a chat, or you can keep writing in chat or get in touch with your consultant anytime. Honestly, we love talking about the Thermomix. It is never a hassle. You don't even know. We love questions from our customers. So please reach out to us. Where's the stop record button? Yeah, okay. Thank you all. I'll stop the recording, but I will stay on.